gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition. I'm Anne Nwawadu. On today's edition of Kaleidoscope, we sit with the country manager and area business head, West Africa Mastercard, Folashade Femi Lawal, to discuss the operations of the organization, its impact on the society, and of course the plans for the future. Once again, welcome to the program. Mastercard is a platform that supports a wide range of digital payment choices, making transactions secure, simple, smart, and accessible. But let's find out more about the organization.
The journey of Mastercard, which is an American multinational payment card services, began over 5 decades ago. With the corporation headquartered in New York, United States of America, Mastercard powers economies and empowers people in over 200 countries and territories around the world. Its principal business is to process payments between the banks of merchants and the card-issuing banks or credit unions of the purchasers who use the Mastercard brand. Its operations in Nigeria began over 15 years ago, building and maintaining impactful partnerships with financial institutions, fintechs, merchants, and the government. Mastercard is one of the trusted partners and contributors to the financial ecosystem in Nigeria, keeping payments safe, driving innovation, advancing financial inclusion, helping micro and small merchants thrive, and enabling access to financial tools for underserved segments.
Let's now hear from the country manager and area business head West Africa for Mastercard, Folashade Femi Lawal, as she takes us through the journey of Mastercard.
Let's begin with what inspired the creation of Mastercard. How did this all begin?
Mastercard began with a vision to connect customers, consumers with businesses worldwide. Remember that we have a footprint all over the world. We call it global footprints. And that is born out of the global economy need to have seamless, safe, and secure transactions. Her vision is actually riding on the desire and the objective to create timeless experiences on our transaction, on all transactions, on all Mastercard rail. And that is what we've done for over 50 years now. So Mastercard emerged from a vision to transform transactions. It came at a time when the global economy was in dire need of safe, seamless, and secure financial transactions. And that has been our watchword in connecting consumers to businesses worldwide.
The fintech industry used to be male-dominated, but if we look at what is going on right now, I mean, that narrative is gradually changing, and we see more women in the fintech world. As a country manager and, of course, the business head for West Africa, how would you describe your journey so far, especially when you look at the female fintech space in Africa or in Nigeria?
My journey at Mastercard has been immensely rewarding and interesting. This is shaped by Mastercard's commitment to DEI's principles, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. What that has done is helped us to work with purpose, and that also aligns with my personal vision as a professional. So at Mastercard, regardless of your race, your color, your gender, or your tribe, we help you to be great. We help one another to be great. And that has helped in how we interact within the organization and also externally with all our partners. Female leadership is at the core of Mastercard DEI's principles. And we see a fair balance. In Africa division, for example, we have over 50% leadership made up of female gender. That also underscores Mastercard commitment to give the female a voice, and not just able to make us relevant. And that's what the Mastercard story is all about. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusivity. I am proud to support Mastercard's commitments in my role as a country manager to drive inclusivity and not just empowering our customers. on financial inclusion and digital economic growth. We also support the female gender through, bringing them up while they are young, catching them while they are young, in STEM, in driving interest, generating interest by the female younger ones in STEM and driving fintech evolution. That's what I've been able to do with my role as a country manager. And Mastercard is driving that and supporting me to live also with purpose while still driving the business for Mastercard.
What can you say makes Mastercard that unique brand, that preferred brand that everyone would want to have something to do with?
Mastercard is not just a global fintech leader. We go beyond that. We envision a world where everyone is digitally connected. But to begin that, we pride ourselves in our commitment in connecting 1 billion people to digital economy come 2025. That includes 50 million micro and small merchants, including 25 million women entrepreneurs, underscoring the DEI principle that I mentioned earlier. In achieving that, we're actually 2 years ahead of schedule in 2025. By 2023, we have achieved that 1 billion connected people digitally. In addition to that, what we've done as Mastercard is to support our customers within the ecosystem. We are the customers, we are the partners for the long haul. We are with you in the trenches. We help you to grow. We help you to scale, leveraging our digital footprints across the world. So we're a leader in the number of pillars. Strategic partnership for growth with our partners. We are also leading in cybersecurity, innovation, and force for good. At the heart of everything we do at Mastercard is our unwavering commitment to power economies, empower people, and build a sustainable business where everyone prospers. So we are not just a global fintech leader. We also lead in innovation. We've launched StartPath, and 400 fintechs, including 30 African startups, have been empowered and supported to go to market. We are also into cybersecurity. We partner with credible ecosystem players to create capacity building for cybersecurity for our ecosystem players. In addition to that, globally, Mastercard has been able to stop more than $35 billion worth of cyber fraud globally.
As a responsible organization, you must have a way to give back when you talk about your corporate social responsibility initiatives that you've carried out as an organization. So share with us some of those initiatives you've been able to do in that regard.
Mastercard is committed to be environmentally responsible, not just driving financial inclusion or digital economic growth. We are committed to driving corporate social responsibility through a number of initiatives. We want to ensure we all live in a safer world, more or less. We have the Girls for Tech, where over 3.5 million girls globally, including Africa, has been encouraged to sustain their interest in STEM, in more or less in a way to catching them young for fintech, female. So it's not just going to be FFL, but there will be many more through the Girls for Tech program. We've also done the StartPath, where over 400 startups, including 30 African countries, have been set up to be able to access global resources, to be connected, where we have our footprints to kickstart their journey in the fintech world. Now, Glovo, Mastercard is partnering with Glovo and Lagos Food Bank, where 300,000 meals have been provided for school children in undeserved communities. I'm also proud to talk about Priceless Planet Coalition initiatives, where 100 million trees will be planted over 5 years. So Mastercard is concerned about environmental sustainability, not just business sustainability for our partners.
As a leader and a woman, what are those extra personal efforts you put into helping other women grow?
This is one topic I'm passionate about. This is my life's calling. Playing it forward. Supporting women. I'm a champion of women supporting women. And I have a number of initiatives that I'm personally driving through my commitments to ensure no one is left behind. So we have the singlemoms.org, an initiative that I started with a friend of mine that is French, Sylvie. We decided to bridge the gap, seeing that single moms are stigmatized. We're not singles, but we just realized in the society has a way of putting a stigma on a single mom. So we've been doing that for a number of years now, supporting single moms to find their feet in the society, upholding them, and also to be relevant, to be able to build their own career without being limited. We have the Praying Moms, a community of over 5,000 women across the globe. We've been on that for like 8 years. We meet every Wednesday, empowering women, giving them success tips, life hacks, and also supporting them. Since COVID, we've been able to feed over 500 families and put over 300 children back to school. We have a website. We work based on voluntary donors. We also have the Arise and Shine Charity Initiative. That is a homegrown indigenous arm that supports women to put their children that would have been otherwise out of school back to school. What we're doing is just to encourage primary school enrollments till date, and that is actually largely led by my older brother, Dr. Lawrence Ajayi. We've been able to support 1,500 indigenous primary school enrollment pupils at our hometown in Elisha. We do that every year. I have a number of initiatives. I can go on and on. There's She Fintech. That is African version of 100 Women in Fintech. We want to play it forward. We've identified a gap in the Nigerian ecosystem and African ecosystem where the female fintech leader is alone. They feel isolated. They struggle to find their feet. So we put together female fintech leaders to share their experiences, pro bono, handhold them, share their stories so they don't make the same mistake. And we have, in addition to that, various alumni that support women. I'm also a big part of WIMBIS, Women in Business and Public Sector and Management. I've been a mentor on WIMBIS for over 10 years. And I've been part of WIMBIS from the day one that they had their first conference over 22 years ago. I believe in WIMBIS' vision of supporting women to find their feet, to find their voice, to create a seat for themselves at the table. But if you don't get a seat at the table, you can actually create another table or buy the entire house. As you evolve and grow, we teach women never to say never, never to give up. To know that they are not alone, that they have a community of cheerleaders, unsung heroes that will be there for them, that they are not alone. There's a tendency to be insulated from the real world as you grow up the career ladder. I am passionate about ensuring that it's demystified as we help the next generation to find their feet and find their voice and be empowered to be able to innovate, to reach within themselves and be better than what their environment is telling them they can be limited to. We just want to shatter the glass ceiling because none actually existed.
All right, what are the challenges in the tech space in Nigeria, and what more can the public or private sector do to, of course, maybe help improve your business and the tech industry in this country and Africa at large?
Nigeria is a forerunner in the fintech ecosystem, having secured about 30% of the fintech funding for Africa. And you remember the entrepreneurial spirit of Nigeria. This is what is driving this growth. I know it looks big, but Nigeria came up in the middle of the in the middle of that vibe, and then we are practically taking over. What we have also seen is that this growing sector, thriving sector, is also faced with some hurdles that covers infrastructural deficits, regulatory complexity, and also funding. About 70% of Nigeria fintech startups still struggle to secure funding. So it's not all about the hype about what we are getting. There's a lot that also needs to happen. They also cope with staff retention. Nigeria fintech ecosystem has suffered about 20% of the jackpot syndrome. And so from Mastercard lens, what we are seeing is there's need for strategic collaboration. Remember, collaboration is a new competition between the public and private sectors to create an enabling environment where fintech startups can thrive, and then they can drive economic growth through innovation. We are mindful of the government initiative on Nigerian Startup Act, which is supporting the fintech ecosystem. But there's need to unpack the complexity around the interpretation of the framework. There's also need for infrastructural investments by ecosystem players. We can't leave that to government. We need the private sector to invest in our future. Also, manpower and capacity building is required, and Mastercard is ready to partner with stakeholders to make this happen, riding on our global footprints.
One form of insecurity Nigerians are worried about, even I am worried about, and I'm sure it's a global thing, is cyber fraud. What is Mastercard doing to ensure a safe environment for transactions, especially for investment, and of course, using technology to drive this?
You're on point for being concerned about cybercrime. Cybercrime is a global threat. It's not just limited to Africa. So it's not an African thing. It's a global phenomenon. And Mastercard is committed to ensuring a safe and secure environment for transactions on our rail. And what we've done is we have our approach into dealing with cybersecurity. Leveraging our AI-driven tools, Mastercard has been able to prevent $35 billion worth of fraud, cyber fraud, over 3 years. Annually as well, Mastercard protects 125 billion transactions on our rail. What we also have adopted at Mastercard in dealing with cybersecurity issues is three-pronged. We identify breaches, we assess threats, and then we deploy fraud-fighting tools through tokenization, dynamic data authentication. We've also partnered with ecosystem players through Mastercard regular fraud forums, where we bring in stakeholders and private sector to brainstorm on how we can jointly solve cybersecurity fraud. We also share from our rich wealth of experience across the globe. This we've done creditably well this year. We've had session with the Committee of E-Business Industry at CB, working with banks, and also we've had Ghana Fraud Forum, all in 2024.
With almost 6 decades of doing business globally, what would you say has kept Mastercard afloat?
Mastercard pride ourselves in saying we have built a technology that never fails for a world that never stops. What we've done is to ensure continuous, always on services to our customers. Our customers know that we got their back. Anytime, anywhere, everywhere. Mastercard is protecting and also powering your economy and making sure there's an economy available to all parties where everybody thrives. We are also at the forefront of innovation. We introduced contactless to Nigeria in 2023. We are driving that engagement across the multiple layers of the ecosystem in Nigeria and in Africa as Mastercard. And watch out for this space. A lot is going to happen because the Apple and all the other payment rails are coming into the country on account of this initiative that we are powering. I would also want to talk about the strategic partnership for growth. We partner with our financial institution partners to ensure that there is opportunities for digital inclusivity. We do that. We just launched the Master Link with a couple of our banks, Access Africa, Fidelity, First Bank is coming on stream, where we are powering cross-border transactions in a seamless, affordable, and speedy form to ensure everybody is happy and is no longer clouded. It's not beclouded. You can see what you do. I mean, what you see is what you get. Also, we are partnering with our fintech players, releasing Product Express. Product Express is first of its kind in Mastercard, wherein our fintech players now has about 15 days time to market. Compare with what you see that months they struggle to just find their feet. But Mastercard has shortened that turnaround time for any new fintech to be able to kickstart their business. I'm also happy to talk about the MADE Alliance, mobilizing access to digital economy. In partnership with African Development Bank, Mastercard is empowering 100 million individuals. And we are kickstarting that with a pilot for 1 million individuals and farmers cut across Nigeria, Tanzania, and Kenya. They are going to have access to digital identities, to rich seed for farmers, and it's good news to our farmers. Also for women to be able to have access to funding to drive their business. This is just one of the few things that Mastercard is doing to add value globally. And what we tell our customers is we are big enough with our global footprints to bring in everybody on stream. And then we are small enough to be in the trenches with you, to evolve and to grow your business. We help our customers to be great. We help one another to be great even as an organization.
Let's talk about the future plans of Mastercard in Nigeria, in Africa, and globally. I mean, we've come a long way when you talk about having embraced e-commerce, especially since after COVID. You talked about the contactless. A lot of people are talking about the cashless policy. So there was a lot going on in trying to make things easier in transactions and all of that. What is the future looking like for Mastercard with the fast growth in technology? And are you ready for what is to come?
The future is so bright at Mastercard for what we have in store for the market. Indeed, with the cashless initiative driven by the central bank and the ecosystem players, there's also this FINA survey that revealed as of 2023 that 97% of adult Nigerians, they still prefer cash. Meanwhile, there is statistics to support Nigeria outranking US and Japan in real-time transactions. So you wonder where the dichotomy is coming from. It shows that the adult Nigerians still trust cash. They prefer cash because they think cash is more reliable and more dependable. But that will not take us to where we ought to get to as a nation, as a dynamic and upwardly mobile people. So the work that needs to be done, that Mastercard has identified, working with ecosystem players. Collaboration is the next competition, as mentioned. We need to increase financial inclusion. And we just finished this central bank-driven International Financial Inclusion Conference, where stakeholders agreed unanimously that there's a lot that needs to happen. We now need to drive innovation. We need to build the trust of the Nigerian people in the ecosystem. We need them to know that they are safe when they are transacting on not just Mastercard Rail, any other financial transaction digital ecosystem. We need to power the economy by being cybersecurity smart. We also need to have AI-driven innovation in a safe way, because that can also be abused. Then we are realizing that our SME, they're a big part of our economy. And we need to get all stakeholders to stop playing lip service to SME growth. Mastercard is irrevocably committed to grow the SME segments. And this you are going to be seeing in a lot of initiatives that we are rolling out in the markets, adding to the one that's happening currently. This is what I think the future looks like. And for me, it is quite bright. So at Mastercard, what we call Force for Good is at the heart of our strategic imperative. And that's what you will call corporate social responsibilities. We are committed to create an enabling environment where everyone thrives, where we give back to the society. So it's not just about making money, it's also about giving back and growing the environment and growing the people. Again, I will reiterate Mastercard vision: empowering people, powering economies, and making sure we create a business, a sustainable business, where every single player thrives and they're happy with the outcome of that partnership. That's what Mastercard stands for.
Well, this is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of Kaleidoscope. But don't forget, it's never goodbye, because you can always watch past editions on youtube.com/channels web. Click on playlist or click on videos, then go to Kaleidoscope. Or you can just type Kaleidoscope on the search button and you'll find various editions of the program. I'm Anne Nwawadu. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.